Hi, Manong George here again of FilipinoUKNurse.com, and I'm here today with one of the very good speakers today from Nursing Times Career Live, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, my name's Carol Cooper. I'm the regional lead for the Chief Nursing Officers BME Strategic Advisory Group for the Midlands. I'm really pleased to be here today and to meet with the Filipino Nurses organisation. Really keen to make links with you as a group and as individuals to understand what your experiences are. I'm very interested in the international recruitment processes, how we are both recruiting in countries of origin, how we are making sure that we are not depriving countries of origin of much needed nursing skills, how we are reinvesting in those countries, but also how we are supporting people to come into the NHS, which for some can be a toxic environment. I think much more needs to be done. And one of the things we're doing is looking at the res performance of NHS organisations before they're going into international recruitment processes.
Can you tell us, sorry to interrupt you there, some of our viewers may not understand what REST means, but can you just enlighten us on what REST means?
So we, in the NHS, what we're doing is embedding a data-driven approach to understanding our performance on equality. So the first one is the Workforce Race Equality Standard, and what that tells us is across a number of indicators, both in terms of people's ability to enter the workforce, to progress to senior levels of the workforce, in terms of disciplinaries, etc. There are a number of variances in the experience of BME staff versus white staff. And so what the legislation tells us is that we have a legal right to do something about that. So one of the things we're doing is looking at the experiences of nurses that have been recruited from overseas. We know that they are more likely to end up in disciplinary processes. And so how we support individuals who have been internationally recruited and support organisations so that they can better support internationally recruited nurses is very, very important. Something around cultural competence, cultural intelligence and cultural safety that we need to make sure is a key part of the experience of people who are coming to the UK to work in the NHS, and that's part of the work that I'm leading on.
That's great. I mean, in a nutshell, you look after minority groups like us Filipinos as well. That's great to hear. And I mean, this might not be quite a regular thing for Filipinos to talk about, but obviously race is still an issue, especially in the NHS maybe. But at least we have somebody like you who stands up for us, and that's really great.
But what I would like to do is I would like to invite you to come to one of the Chief Nursing Officers BME meetings. I think it's important that you speak with your own voice and you tell us what you're experiencing. I know sometimes it may not be seen to be the polite thing to do, but what I don't want people doing is suffering in silence, having negative experiences when there is support available to help you understand that, to help improve those processes and improve your experience of being a nurse within the NHS. So please do make contact with us, either via the Chief Nurse. We're on the NHS England website. Each area has a regional lead. Really great. It would be really great to see you there. We have a conference every year. We'll be present at the CNO Summit in March. So if anybody's there, please do seek us out. But do make contact with us because it's important that your experiences are represented when we're advising the Chief Nurse about how we can improve the experience of internationally recruited nurses.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Carol. Just one last thing. With your extensive background in nursing, obviously you've met and worked with Filipino nurses. What would you say in general to Filipino nurses? How do you look at Filipino nurses when you see them? I mean, what do you know about us? can you say about
I think Filipino nurses are some of the most professional nurses that I've met. I think you have varied experience. I met a number of Filipino nurses that may have worked in lots of other countries,
Yes.
and bring that, particularly because my background is in intensive care.
Yes.
So bring that, and so in countries like Saudi Arabia, their intensive care units were much more advanced
Yes.
than ours. The machinery, everything
technology,
else was
yes.
actually very, very technical. And so having those skills in the NHS was a real asset, and I personally value the skills that you bring. I think we need to do more to uncover some of the broad skills that you bring. So how we package that, because maybe everybody doesn't understand how skilled you actually are.
Yes.
And I had said before, once everybody has a nursing qualifications, there's little way of measuring an excellent nurse
Yes.
from a mediocre nurse.
It just begins.
Absolutely. So bringing out more that broad global skill set, really important, especially this year in the year of
Yes,
nurse.
that's right.
Yeah. So Filipino nurses feature strongly in that kind of global nurse.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so bringing out the understanding of the additional skills that you bring and your unique selling point is really important this year.
Oh, well, thank you very much for entertaining us. Really.
That's okay.
Oh, your question and answer portion was really great there. We've learned so much, and yes, hopefully we can see you more. And thank you very much.
Lovely. Okay. Thank you very
George,
much.
by the way,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Manong knows best, put your worries to rest when